The cattle battle in Nevada is over. The U.S. government backed down in its fight against a Nevada rancher over the grazing of cattle and more than $1 million in allegedly unpaid fees. NBC's Leanne Gregg is in Bunkerville, Nevada for us. Leanne, this clash between the Bundy family and the federal government started about a week ago or so in this latest heated battle, shall we say. So why did the government walk away?
Alex, the Bureau of Land Management said that it wanted to stop the cattle roundup to avoid violence and to restore order. Every day, the standoff became increasingly tense, and there was concern about the safety of employees and the public. This morning, about 400 head of cattle from Cliven Bundy's ranch are once again free to roam after Nevada's Bureau of Land Management stopped its roundup of the animals on Saturday, citing serious safety concerns. The agency had been corralling the cattle for the past week, saying they were grazing illegally on public lands. But the Bundys claim they own the land and call it a range war.
Get off our land. Period. Give us back our property.
Hundreds of protesters, many of them armed, rallied in support of the family.
No BLM!
Captured on video and posted to YouTube, the dispute escalated. Agency police fired a taser that struck Bundy's son.
They had the tasers, they had the weapons, they had the dogs, and we had nothing except us. We were almost equally numbered, and then they were the aggressors.
The federal government says protesters were blocking a road, assaulting authorities and their dogs. But the video prompted a call to arms from self-described militia leaders and those fighting for states' rights. One arrived carrying an AK-47 as the crowds grew.
I'm willing to lay my life down.
The West has now been won!
The BLM says it will continue to fight to get the cattle off the land judicially and administratively. Alex?
Interesting, a lot of those people aren't going home, so we're going to check in with you next hour and see if anything happens with all those folks sticking around. Thank you very much. NBC's Leanne Gregg.
My fellow countrymen, I would like to make a statement in connection with the events that have taken place in the Donetsk region and in the city of Slavyansk. Blood was shed today. From now on, the situation in our country is fundamentally different. Ukraine is on the brink of a civil war. The Kiev cabal has given a criminal order to use force and send regular troops against civilians in southeastern Ukraine. I'd like to remind everyone that when we were in Kiev, we did not use such methods even against radicals and extremists. Ukraine's socio-economic situation is quickly deteriorating. The country is spiraling towards inevitable bankruptcy. Let us recall how it all started. It started with Maidan, where a group of nationalists imposed its will on the majority of Ukrainians, using violence and later even weapons.
Promised to do is to provide you and your staff with
Sir, I've read you what your department promised, and it is inadequate, and I realize that contempt is not a big deal to our Attorney General, but it is important that we have proper oversight. So,
you don't want to go there, okay?
I don't want to go there?
No.
About the contempt?
You should not assume that that is not a big deal to me. I think that it was inappropriate. I think it was unjust. But never think that that was not a big deal to me. Don't ever think that.
Well, I'm just looking for evidence, and normally we're known by our fruits, and there have been no indications that it was a big deal because your department has still not been forthcoming in producing the documents that were the subject of the contempt.